Have you ever woken up from an afternoon nap only to feel this strange emptiness inside, like your mind is drifting through a soft, colorless fog? What was meant to be just a light rest somehow leaves you restless when night falls, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. And by morning, you feel even more drained than before you closed your eyes. Could it be that these little naps are quietly chipping away at your health, bit by bit, and no one really notices? If any of this feels familiar to you, then let this video be a gentle companion. Here to listen, to understand, and to share a quiet moment with you. Feel free to leave a small comment below, even just the word yes, to let us know that we're not alone in this. And if this message resonates with you, we invite you to subscribe to the channel so every week we can meet again in stories that bring meaning and warmth to our days. Ruth is 74 years old. She lives alone in a small wooden house nestled beside a grove of old maple trees on the outskirts of Portland. Each afternoon, after a simple lunch of warm soup and a soft slice of bread, she gently leans back into her worn armchair by the window. Sunlight filters through the fabric curtain, casting quiet shadows on her slightly trembling hands, wrapped around a frayed woolen shawl. Just a short nap, she tells herself. But when she wakes, her mind feels heavy, her chest hollow with a strange loneliness, as if time had slipped quietly through her fingers before she even realized it. She's not alone. Many of our older friends find themselves dozing off after lunch, drifting into sleep while watching the news, or nodding off in the stillness of the afternoon. It seems harmless, just a nap. But when daytime sleep becomes too long or mistimed, it can quietly affect memory, heart rhythm, nighttime rest, and even emotional well-being. So it makes you wonder, could these seemingly normal naps be gently wearing us down, making us more tired, more fragile, without us even noticing? In today's video, I'd like to walk with you through 6 subtle ways excessive daytime sleep might be affecting your health. But more importantly, we'll explore a few small, gentle changes you can make to feel more awake, more refreshed, and more joyful in your everyday life. I invite you to come along. Our bodies are quietly guided by something known as the biological clock, a natural rhythm that keeps us in sync with the day and night. But when we nap too long during the day, that clock can lose its sense of time. Day and night begin to blur, and so when evening comes, you might find yourself lying in bed, eyes wide open, tossing and turning, waiting for sleep that never seems to return. Even if you finally do fall asleep, the morning doesn't feel refreshing. Your body aches, your eyes sting, and your mind floats in a mist, as if dawn itself hasn't fully arrived inside you. That was exactly what happened to Mr. Arthur, 76, who lives in a quiet town near Lake Michigan. He started with short naps after lunch, just 15 minutes at first, but slowly those naps grew longer. Half an hour, then an hour, and on some days he would sleep so deeply he wouldn't wake until late afternoon. At night, sleep became elusive. He would lie in bed restless, counting his breaths, up to 400 sometimes. And still, sleep wouldn't come. And so, by morning, he was exhausted. Again. He'd nap to make up for it, and the cycle would repeat over and over. Many older friends still believe, at this age, a little extra rest can't hurt. But in truth, it's not the number of hours we sleep. It's the quality of that sleep that helps our bodies stay strong and our minds stay clear. If you feel drowsy in the afternoon, try setting a gentle alarm, just 20 to 30 minutes, and keep your nap before 3 p.m. so your night's sleep can remain deep and uninterrupted. That's exactly what Mr. Arthur did. He began waking naturally around 2:30 p.m., refreshed from a short 25-minute nap. Within days, his nights changed. Sleep came more easily, and he no longer woke up in the middle of the night. And in the morning, something felt different. He no longer dragged his feet to the kitchen. He felt lighter, as if something inside had quietly recharged. Have you, too, found yourself caught in that quiet cycle? Longer naps, restless nights, sleepy mornings, and then more naps again? If so, maybe today is a good day to try one small shift, to listen again to the gentle rhythm of deep, healing sleep. Memory is like a garden. Without the care of deep, well-timed sleep, even the most beautiful moments, the sharpest thoughts, can begin to fade. When we sleep too much during the day, the brain doesn't get the chance it needs at night to enter deep sleep. That sacred time when neurons repair and memories quietly take root. Mrs. Linda is 78 years old. She once taught literature in Oregon, a lifetime spent among words, poetry, and the warm voices of her students. But recently, things have begun to slip. She started forgetting the names of old neighbors, mixing up dates, and one day, she walked to the market only to realize she couldn't remember what she'd come to buy. She often dozes off while watching TV or holding a book. Little naps that come and go like thin wisps of smoke, uninvited and fleeting. During a recent visit, the doctor gently said, "Your brain is overwhelmed because it's missing the deep sleep it needs. These scattered naps in the daytime are quietly stealing your memory, piece by piece." Perhaps you've thought the same thing. What harm is there in just a little nap? But few realize that these unfocused, mistimed naps disrupt the brain's repair cycle, leaving memories to drift, slowly becoming harder to hold on to. Instead of drifting off every time you feel tired, try shaping a simple, gentle routine for your afternoons. A 10-minute walk after lunch, some soft music, or a few pages of a book by the window. And if you do need to nap, make it short, intentional, and soothing, like a small gift to your memory. Within just 2 weeks of this change, Mrs. Linda began to feel more alert in the late afternoon. She could finish an entire chapter without nodding off. And one day she suddenly remembered the name of a former student, the one who had given her that porcelain vase 10 years ago. That quiet joy, that moment of clarity, came only after her brain had finally been given real, restorative rest. If you've ever forgotten an appointment, a name, or a story you once cherished, maybe today is a chance to reflect. Could your daytime sleep habits be quietly causing your memory to fade? And perhaps, could a well-timed nap be all it takes to hold on to what truly matters? Our heart is a quiet companion. It doesn't speak, but it works tirelessly, beat after beat, moment after moment, carrying us through life. Yet many people don't realize sleeping too long, too often during the day can place silent pressure on that very heart, disrupting its rhythm and causing blood pressure to rise and fall unpredictably. Mr. Gerald, 74, used to work at the post office in a small river town in Minnesota. Since retiring, he lives with his wife and their 2 white cats. Each day after lunch, he rests in his wicker chair, reading the paper, and somewhere between the headlines he drifts off. Some days he naps for over an hour and a half. Lately, he's noticed his heart racing whenever he wakes. Sometimes he feels lightheaded just getting up for a glass of water. He chalked it up to aging until a routine checkup revealed the truth. His circadian rhythm had shifted, and his long daytime naps were throwing his cardiovascular system off balance. Many still believe the more sleep, the better. The heart gets more rest. But in reality, when naps are too long or mistimed, the body may release stress hormones, elevate blood pressure, and force the heart to work harder, like a runner moving without direction. You don't have to give up your midday rest entirely, but consider keeping naps under 30 minutes, ideally before 3 p.m. And after waking, rise slowly, stretch twice, and take a few calm steps around the room so your blood flows smoothly and your heart transitions gently from rest to activity. That's exactly what Mr. Gerald began doing. He now naps just 25 minutes each afternoon. His wife, Sylvia, places a small tea bell on the table to remind him not to sleep too long. Since then, his afternoon fatigue has faded, his blood pressure readings have steadied, and each evening, he walks the cats out to the garden, waters the plants, and stands in the sunlight, feeling as if his heart has found a new, steady rhythm again. Your heart has been beating for you, faithfully, for decades. Maybe today, you could listen to it just a little more closely by gently adjusting your daytime rest so your heart can truly rest when it needs to and continue walking with you for many more strong, healthy years to come. Our bodies were made to move, not to lie still for too long, whether it's in bed or nestled deep into a familiar soft chair. When older friends spend too much time napping during the day, that time often replaces the precious moments the body needs for movement, and slowly the legs grow heavy, the back stiffens, and even a few steps up the porch start to feel harder than they used to. Mr. Stanley, 77, was once a skilled carpenter in the suburbs of Pennsylvania. In the years just after retirement, he still enjoyed tending the garden, sweeping leaves, and mending old wooden pieces from the backyard gate. But as time went on, he began to nap more during the day, and each time he woke, his body felt sluggish, limbs weighed down as if they had turned to stone. He skipped his evening walks at first, then slowly handed the garden work over to his son. Until one afternoon, he tried to walk around the neighborhood and couldn't make it more than 100 meters. His legs, once sturdy and strong, now trembled just from standing too long. Many people think rest helps us conserve strength, but the body is like an oil lamp. Without being refilled through gentle daily movement, the flame begins to fade without us even realizing. Too much rest without motion isn't restoration, it's a quiet wearing down. If you find yourself napping longer during the day, try starting with something small and easy. Walking after each nap, take 20 slow steps around the house. Each morning, stretch your arms 3 times before getting out of bed, and let the morning sun greet your body, a soft awakening for your heart, lungs, and joints. As Mr. Stanley began adding light movement after each short nap, something shifted. He stopped lying in bed all afternoon. Instead, he took small walks through the garden, picked up fallen leaves with his own hands, and one bright morning, he repaired the old bench in front of his house, the one he used to sit on with a newspaper 20 years ago. "I don't need to be a great carpenter anymore," he said with a smile. "Just being able to walk out to my front yard, that's enough happiness for me." Sometimes it's not age that weakens us, but resting too long, too often. So today, instead of a long nap, what if you chose one simple movement, one small step, a slow loop around the porch? Maybe that's all it takes to return to being your own strong, steady companion once again. Some kinds of sadness never make a sound. They lie quietly, in the long afternoon naps, beneath the soft glow of a late-day lamp, or in the silence of a phone that no longer rings. Did you know sleeping too much during the day not only slows the body down, but can also weigh on the spirit? It can leave the mind feeling foggy, the heart unanchored, heavy with a quiet emptiness we often can't explain. Mrs. Evelyn is 73. She's been widowed for nearly 5 years and now lives with her youngest daughter on the edge of San Diego. She once loved to cook, grow orchids, and call her old friends just to check in. But after her husband passed, she began sleeping more. At first because she felt lonely, and later, simply because she didn't know what else to do. She would drift off while listening to the radio, or nod off mid-stitch while sewing. Little by little, she stopped leaving her room. She spoke less. Even the meals she once enjoyed no longer held any flavor. One day, her granddaughter came to visit, wrapped her arms around her from behind, and whispered, "Grandma, you don't smile at me anymore." You might have heard someone say, "Sleep more so you don't have to think too much." But in truth, long daytime sleep can sap the mind, lower serotonin, the very chemical that helps lift our spirits and connect us to others, and leave our emotions flat and colorless. If your heart has felt heavy lately, try beginning with the smallest things. Each morning, open the curtains and let in the gentle sunlight. Call someone, even just for a minute, just to say hello. Play a song you once loved, or revisit a scene from a film that used to make you laugh. And if you need a nap during the day, schedule it with care. Make it short, then get up and do one small, meaningful thing. One bright morning, Mrs. Evelyn decided to move the tea table back out onto the front porch, the spot where she and her husband used to sit every weekend afternoon. Instead of lying in bed, she picked up a pair of shears and trimmed her old geraniums. She brewed a pot of Earl Grey, just the way she liked it. When her granddaughter stopped by, she found her smiling. "I called my old friend this morning," Evelyn said. "It made me happy." And from that day on, instead of letting the afternoon slip away in sleep, she chose to do one small thing each day. And slowly, her spirit began to bloom again, like the pale white orchids that had started to blossom outside her window. Maybe sometimes we're not truly tired, just searching for something to soothe the loneliness. So today, instead of a long nap, what if you chose a short phone call, a familiar melody, or a few quiet moments watching the sunlight flicker through the leaves? Perhaps your heart too is waiting for a gentle awakening, one that begins from within. The human body is a remarkable machine, but also a delicate one. And when it comes to blood sugar, every rhythm, from eating to sleeping to moving, plays a role. Sleeping too much during the day doesn't just leave you feeling sluggish. It slows down your metabolism, lowers insulin activity, and can cause blood sugar levels to rise unpredictably, especially for those already at risk of diabetes. Mr. Raymond is 76. He spent nearly 4 decades driving trucks across the state of Texas. Now retired, he lives with his wife in a small home near a peaceful lake. Mornings begin with oatmeal. Afternoons wind down with herbal tea. But recently, he started feeling tired every morning, even after long hours of sleep. He often dozed off after lunch, naps that stretched to an hour, sometimes even 2. At a routine checkup, his doctor noticed something unusual. His blood sugar had spiked. He hadn't changed his diet. He hadn't gained weight. But those long, unplanned daytime naps were silently disrupting his body's balance, and no one had seen it coming. Some might say, but I don't eat sweets or greasy food. Why should I worry about blood sugar? But here's the truth. Excessive daytime sleep reduces physical movement and throws off key hormones like insulin and adiponectin, the very ones that act as gatekeepers for glucose in your blood. When your natural rhythms fall out of sync, your body no longer knows how to process that sugar, and so it builds up out of place, causing instability. Instead of a long nap after lunch, try something simple and gentle. Sit outside in the sunlight for 10 minutes after eating. Take a slow walk around the garden, or simply stand and wash a few small dishes. If you do need to nap, set a gentle alarm for no more than 25 minutes and avoid sleeping past 3 p.m. Mr. Raymond started small. He replaced his long afternoon naps with quiet moments watching the lake, gently massaging his legs to help circulation. He woke up at the same time each day, ate at regular hours, and instead of lying down after meals, he and his wife took short walks together around the yard. Within just a month, his blood sugar began to stabilize, and his mind felt clearer. With a smile, he said, "That little nap doesn't make me young again, but it clears my head." Have you ever felt like you eat well, yet your health still feels unpredictable? Maybe, just maybe, shortening your midday nap and adding a few calm steps under the morning sun might help your body remember how to find balance again. If you take a moment to truly listen to it, taking a nap during the day isn't a bad thing. In fact, a short nap, timed just right and done the right way, can be a gentle medicine for both the body and the soul. But when daytime sleep becomes too long, too frequent, it can slowly take away the things that matter most: a deep night's rest, a steady step, a calm heartbeat, even the quiet joy of a peaceful smile. Change doesn't need to be big. All it takes is awareness, followed by a soft adjustment. Because you deserve clear, wakeful days, light, gentle afternoons, and truly restful nights. If you've noticed your midday naps lasting a bit too long, today try setting a small alarm before you lie down. Keep it to 25 minutes, and when you wake, rise slowly. Drink a warm glass of water, stretch your arms 3 times, take a few quiet steps around your home, and if there's sunlight outside, let your eyes find it, as a reminder that you are still living in a very real, very beautiful day. One small shift each day is more than enough to bring you closer to lasting, gentle healing. Dear friends, of the 6 impacts of daytime sleep we've walked through together, which one stayed with you the most? And if you were to choose just one thing to begin changing today, what would it be? Please feel free to share your thoughts below, even a short line, so others from your generation can see that we are not alone and we are still listening to our bodies and to each other. If you found this video meaningful, we invite you to subscribe, turn on notifications and share it with someone you care about. Because maybe, just maybe, a gentle reminder today could help someone sleep more peacefully tomorrow night. A life message: dear friends, growing older is not an ending, but a quiet new chapter where every breath, every step, holds a story worthy of deep respect. The body may slow down, but the soul remains whole. It can still smile, still feel gratitude, and still bring comfort to others, simply by being calm and at peace. We didn't create this video to tell you what to change. We made it to remind you that you are deeply valued, and that even the smallest change, gently made each day, can help your body feel renewed, and your spirit feel light once more. Thank you for being here in this life, and for listening to something soft and kind today.